Alright, so before we get started with this story, let me just go ahead and say thank you guys for all the feedback. You guys are really enjoying these live stories that I'm bringing you guys. So I will continue to bring more if that's what you guys want. I have tons that I can bring. Just keep letting me know in the comments what you guys want, what you want to see, what you want me to talk about. That's what I'm here for. It's our, discussion every day, or our topic for our day. That's what the Daily Dose is all about, is us communicating. So whenever you guys want me to talk about something, just let me know. So let's talk about my PS2 story. Now this is a crazy story because it involves obviously just more than just me. It involves my brother and a really close friend of ours. So it was like I think it was like a Wednesday or a Thursday, right? And I used to work on a farm, so I worked crazy hours, and I would get home really weird times. And we were all sitting down one night. It was one of those lucky days where I got off like at a decent time, and we're all just chilling, doing our thing, and we're watching TV, and bam.
Final Fantasy X is gorgeous and grand. Absolutely mind-blowing. Enthralling gameplay. Simply incredible. This is what PlayStation 2 is all about. Don't believe a word. Do you play it?
I've done it.
Final Fantasy X, rated T for teen, only on PlayStation 2.
Swear soft.
And I'm a big Final Fantasy guy, so is my brother. And we saw it and we were like, dude, we gotta have this thing, right? We gotta get this thing. And I made tons of money, man. I mean, I was still living at home, my parents, and it was like cash was just rolling out of my eyeballs. I mean, when you work on a farm, you get paid well. And I was just blowing money back in the day. I was building up my gaming collection. I was buying computers, you know what I mean? So I think my brother said it. He was like, dude, we got to get this game. How long do you think we'll need to save up for it? I was like, dude, let's just go get it. He's like, nah, man, it's going to cost you a fortune, right? You got to get the PlayStation. You'll have to get, a memory card and blah, blah, blah. I was like, let's just do it. Let's just do it. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, let's go tomorrow and let's just get it. So I went to work, got off, and met these guys, and we said, it shouldn't be hard to get. We'll just ride up to, a local area. It's about 30 minutes from my house. We'll pick it up. No big deal. So we went to, I think it was like an EB back then, or a Funko Land, or one of those, and they didn't have it. So I was like, oh, no big deal. So we went to another spot. Well, they don't have it. We went to probably 5 or 6 different spots, and none of them had it. And this is a busy area that I'm talking about. It's not like a podunk town or anything. This is like, this is where you go to get things, and nobody had it. So we finally started going to, and these were like specialty shops too, like the Funko Lands and stuff like that, the GameStops, the EB, that sort of shop. They didn't have it. So we were like, well, surely Best Buys, Walmart, surely the bigger retailers have it, right? So we went to, I think it was a Best Buy, and I remember having cash, right? It was ungodly amounts of cash. And the way that they cashed our checks where I worked is that they would give you smaller bills. So like they would give you a lot of 1s and 10s and 20s. So it wasn't like I had 5 $100 bills, or I can't remember if I had $500 or $600, but it was a lot of cash. And so I remember having a pocket full of cash, and I remember going into this, I think it was a Best Buy, and I'm sure my brother will correct me in the comments if it wasn't, but I'm sure it was a Best Buy. And the lady was like, we don't have one. And I was like, now, you don't have one, or you don't have one? And I gave her that look like if you've got one in the back room kind of deal, like I will pay you for it, you know what I mean? And she looked at me like I was a drug dealer, because I pulled out the cash. Like I meant to pull out like $20, but I pulled out the whole wad of cash. I mean, money is falling everywhere, dude. On the ground, it's everywhere, because it was just a pocket full of smaller bills, right? So I'm embarrassed. Money's everywhere, and she literally thinks that I am a drug dealer. And so I had to kind of talk her down off of that and be like, look, this is not what it looks like. I work a weird job that pays small bills, blah, blah, blah. And so she finally got it, and I said, look, I really need to get this. She said, well, there's a Walmart down the road. She says, but if it's not there and you guys have checked everywhere, you're going to have to go to Wilmington, which was quite a distance from where I lived. But I was ready to do it. We were ready to make the trek. So I remember we went to the Walmart. They didn't have it, and they were like, well, there's one more Walmart across town. If they don't have it, you know, we do have a store in Wilmington that has it, which is all the way, like I said, all the way in Wilmington. And I was like, well, can you call them up? So they called them up, and they said they had one. They couldn't hold it, though, because I guess it's against their store policy or whatever. I again offered to pay cash. I was like, I will pay you, and they didn't obviously go for that. But we did end up going over there. It was about 15 minutes down the road. We literally got out of the car and ran, like sprinted, full sprint into the store, like we were 5. It was crazy. And we get to the back, you know, because the electronics is all the way at the back. And they got it. So they got it for me. We got it. I remember we went home. And I remember on the way home, we were like, what is this game going to do that none of the other Final Fantasies have done right? Like, what's the combat system going to be like? And we started talking about what we were looking forward to this game having. And one of the things we talked about was we want Final Fantasy X to have like characters that kind of interact with each other, like talk to each other, like during combat. Like, that's what we want, you know. And it ended up being that way because the combat system in 10 is very, very much so where people kind of help each other out. You can see the interaction with the characters when they fight. And I think the most epic moment was the intro, because we sat down, we got the brand new console, you know, we got the brand new game. I remember we all like turned the lights out. We all got in our little, I think my brother was on the bed and I was on like this little stool we had, and we all got into position, and then we just quietly just turned the power switch on. And it was crazy. It was like we were worshiping this thing or something. And then we all just, you know, shut up. We watched. And I remember the opening, you know, cutscene, kind of heavy music, like the heavy guitar music going on, and the, you know, the whole blitzball thing. Freaking epic, man. It was a night that I'll never forget, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So they thought I was a drug dealer because I had so much cash on me, and I had, like I said, money was falling out everywhere, man. I probably lost money that night because we were in such a hurry. I don't even know if we picked all the money up, man, but it was a good time, man. PlayStation 2 is by far my favorite console ever, man. It's got so many good games. It's just pound for pound a really good console, man. If you don't have a PlayStation 2, you have missed out, man. You have missed out. There's a lot of consoles that come out that you can just miss and maybe skip over, but that is one that you definitely want to have in your collection. And I think the PlayStation 4 is going to have some way that you can play the games, you know, through that Gaikai service. So maybe if you didn't buy a PlayStation 2, maybe you can still buy some of the games. But pound for pound, one of my favorite systems. I'll never forget that night. It was a fun time, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's show. You guys be good.